The first draft of anything is shit, said one of the greatest American writers of all time, Ernest Hemingway. So if Hemingway produced shit for writing here and there, then don't feel so badly if you sometimes do too. And if you've ever suffered from writer's block, inhibiting self-doubt and self-criticism, staying focused, generating ideas, maintaining an idea throughout an essay, or just trying to meet that page requirement, then keep watching and please subscribe to this channel, because in this 3-part series, I'm going to discuss Anne Lamott's very useful and funny essay, Shitty First Drafts. And I'm going to address writing from an emotional, personal, and psychological point of view and give you real writing tips and solutions that will help make the academic or creative writing experience that much better and easier for you. I am Dr. Whitney Costers, professor of English, and I've been teaching composition courses for almost 2 decades. And I have to tell you that 75 to 80% of the students that I meet really, truly believe that they're the only ones struggling with their writing and that everybody else is just this natural gifted writer who can do it with ease. Does this sound familiar to you? Trust me, no matter who you are or how skillful of a writer you are, we all suffer from inhibitions that make writing a struggle sometimes. Even the most world-renowned, critically acclaimed writers struggle with something. This is why I always assign Anne Lamott's very short essay, Shitty First Drafts, which is linked below, in my writing classes because I think it's a humorous, enjoyable piece to introduce you to the problems that all writers face, whether you're in an introductory college course or you're a seasoned professional who's been publishing and writing for years, like Anne Lamott. What I like so much about this essay is how open, reflective, and honest she is about the writing process and how it affects her so emotionally. She, similar to Hemingway, says, the only way I can get anything written is to write really, really shitty first drafts. It's why she calls the first draft a child's draft. You should write it like a child would. Act like a child, an impulsive, out-of-control toddler even. Do it with abandon. In other words, don't overanalyze or overthink. I believe that's where most of us get hung up on writing. Have you ever spent 10 minutes agonizing over if this word sounds better than that word? Or have you ever wasted an entire afternoon trying to perfect that one paragraph? Yeah, me too. But when we hyper-focus like that, we lose our momentum or that creative space that we were in. Our brains actually switch gears and it throws us off. Lamott is so relatable when she explains that she'd feel despair and worry when she tried to start writing a food review. She would self-deprecatingly tell herself, I'm ruined. And when she'd look at her shitty first draft, she'd obsess about getting creamed by a car before she could write a decent second draft. And she'd worry that people would read what she'd written and believe that it was really suicide because it was that bad. The emotional stages that Lamott goes through are extreme, dramatic, and intense, but they're so accurate. And it's likely that you've had these moments too. It's just nice to know that you're not the only one, right? Now, I'm not saying delight in the fact that we all struggle, but recognizing that we all face our own challenges can help ease some of those insecurities that really do inhibit our writing, because we are better able to quiet down both the criticisms we have of ourselves and the judgments we believe other people are making of our writing. And how does Lamott move past these dramatic self-loathing moments? Well, for one thing, she personifies her inner critic as mice that she can just pick up, put into a jar, and silence. Imagine yourself literally removing that voice inside you that inhibits you. Imagine or even perform your own scenario of taking them out of your head and flushing them down the toilet or throwing them out the window. Do what works for you. A more concrete piece of advice that Lamott gives us is the reminder that writing should be done in stages. The first draft is the down draft. You just get it down because then you've got something to work with. The second draft is the up draft because you fix it up. And the third draft, the one we all read, is the dental draft, where you check every tooth to make sure it's polished, good, and ready to be submitted and read. In other words, one of the biggest mistakes we can make is treating writing as a task that can hurriedly just be churned out the night before an assignment is due. Once you recognize that it's a process that involves a number of stages that give you the opportunity to tackle it little by little, it can make writing a much less intimidating and frustrating thing to do. So, no matter what, always start early. You'll always benefit from the extra time no matter what. This video, like Lamott's essay, is basically therapy for writers. Seriously. What I think we often forget or don't even consider at all is that writing is a psychological endeavor more than anything else. The process, and it's a long process, is primarily sourced from the circumstances that affect us mentally and the way we emotionally approach writing. And I think this is because people tend to see writing as a more subjective task than, say, math, for instance. We sometimes don't know how to get started, how to generate or organize our ideas. We struggle trying to find the right tone and voice. We lose focus of our thesis, get lost in our thoughts, don't know how to properly research our topic, etc., etc. There are certainly rules to writing, but I think because writing is a more creative endeavor, the rules become more fluid and subjective. I really do believe that making the writing process more successful is not only about implementing specific writing activities like outlines and brainstorming. It's also about recognizing and addressing your own insecurities over writing and acknowledging that not only is the struggle real for everyone, but that we all rely on certain writing or personal activities that aim to get us from a blank page to a polished final draft. Getting yourself in the right state of mind and knowing the specifics about what you need in order to do that is crucial to successful writing. Okay, so now that you know we're pretty much all in the same boat, head on over to my next video in which I discuss some of the most common personal, psychological, and emotional inhibitions to writing and how to get into the right headspace to be a productive, good writer. And if you've got that covered already, then skip ahead to video 3, in which I discuss real writing activities and techniques that will help you tackle things like writer's block, meeting the page requirements, and organizing ideas. So I will see you there.